Education is one of the most important weapons in a country. We wanted to transform education into an instrument we can use for development. Every human being, young or old, is an inspiration. As we take stock of our accomplishment and shortcoming, we should not, by a slightest of chance, lose sight of our once ambitious dream for education.
One of the key pieces of work that we do is community and adult education. And we also deliver various types of training. So it could range from occupational or industry certified training. We deliver bespoke trainings such as with residents associations, and then we do basic community and adult education, which would have a particular social inclusion focus. And really what we're always trying to do is respond to the needs and wants of the people that we're working with directly. Today we are going to focus on 4 particular programs to give you a sense of the breadth of work that we do in the area.
It was the March when the first major lockdown, we reached out to our participants with a survey, a questionnaire, 10 questions to try and judge how they were feeling and what they wanted us to do. Because of course we had classes one week and the next week everything was totally shut. The first thing is we found that they were feeling anxious, that some of them were feeling scared, and what we came up with was a well-being package.
At the moment we're running a level 5 QQI childcare award. Our target market would be predominantly community-based CE workers.
Fóilte Stock is informal classes. So they are delivered by volunteers.
We were based beside Oliver Bond Flat, and we'd be assisting people with following up with Dublin City Council about maintenance issues. We started working with the residents more collectively, and we facilitated the establishment of a residents group, and we organised human rights training for residents.
It was giving people a structure in their life, that we had a class every day almost, and at 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock, they knew no matter what they were living alone or whatever their situation, that they could switch on their computer. I would have sent them a link and I would talk to them as well, and that they could click this and they would see all the faces of the people that they'd been interacting with before lockdown. The well-being of the people, that was what we focused on. It wasn't about skills, it wasn't about trying to teach people anything. It was their mental and physical well-being.
All people working in the area of childcare require a minimum of level 5.
In the inner city, there is up to 40% population are coming from new communities. So many people have skills that would be transferable, but if they don't have English language, they would not be able to use those skills.
So when we were setting up the residents group about maybe 18 months ago, I guess there's a fluency in kind of skills, and there's words that Dublin City Council or the Department of Education use that can be quite off-putting. And then on the other side, you have around 1,200 people living in Oliver Bond saying we have considerable dampness, our children can't sleep in their bedrooms. And there's just these 2 different conversations, and there's kind of nothing in between. So I guess the impetus for arranging the training was that the residents would be able to speak this language.
We think that everyone has a smartphone, everyone has a laptop, and everyone can use these things. And it's absolutely not true. Digital divide that people speak about was very real in this area. I and a couple of other volunteers, we had to actually go to people's houses and stand in their gardens and actually give them the laptop and teach them the basics to begin this journey that they had to start on. Not everyone has the space. Some of us do, some of us were very lucky. A lot of people don't live in that sort of world. They live in crowded accommodation. And it was challenging to run a class under these circumstances because everything was very chaotic for a long time. But eventually everyone found a way.
Adults coming back into education do not struggle with the practical parts of the course. They struggle with the academic part, the writing of assignments and meeting deadlines with it, because very often they're running homes, they're working part-time, and they're training part-time. So they need that support, and that support is available in Casper. So we struggle sometimes to get people across the door on CE. Once you have them across the door, it works very well.
The nature of the classes is such that students have to self-motivate themselves to come and to participate. It's a drop-in service, and we have a high rotation of students.
The main challenge for us with adult ed, it's always getting people in the door and engaging in the first place. But I guess with this, because it was so practical and the issue that was being dealt with was very real to everybody, it was kind of straight out of the gates.
Successful beyond my wildest dreams, actually. The first Tai Chi class happened in the May after lockdown, and one person came, and within 6 weeks we had 15 people coming to that class. And that's how you know something is successful. That's how you know that people are getting something from it, because they're telling other people.
Predominantly confidence building, but also they acquire a qualification which is very valuable to them, and they can go and work in the area of childcare anywhere. Home-wise, it has a huge positive influence on their families, because their families see them working hard in their training and also achieving very well, getting qualifications. An awful lot of our learners they're very good positive role models in their community.
Unintended outcomes would be that people find friends, they get to know people from other nationalities, they become less isolated, they are able to find a better job, better maybe housing.
And then the participants just applied that to their real life situations and I guess generated real outcomes out of it. They weren't just learning the information, but they were applying it. And then they were contacting all of the relevant rights agencies.
The co-op delivers is based on a community education model, which essentially means that it's participant driven. The beauty of the SciCap funding is that it allows our development workers to be responsive to participant needs, and not only to participant needs, but also to external factors that will change circumstances either within an area or within the culture as a whole. For example, most recently, obviously, would be COVID. The importance of the relationship between the participants and the link worker that they're working with. That relationship is absolutely vital to participants staying with the programme.
I started 3 courses here. I signed up because I retired. So I signed up for art, I signed up for Tai Chi, I signed up for yoga and for mindfulness. And then COVID hit and it was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And then a lifeline was sent out to us by Martin to say, would you like to join these classes online or Zoom? And I said, yeah, of course. And that's what we did. So I know it sounds strange, but I was in the art class on WhatsApp. The one point I have to make, and that is that a lot of people would class or categorize these classes as hobbies, hobby classes, and they're not important. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Because I'm in an art class with real artists. They have a style of their own. They create their own colours. I'm in a masterclass. The Tai Chi, Siobhan, our tutor, teacher, was warm and soft and wholesome. And the Tai Chi on Zoom was wonderful. And then magic happened again through the medium with Martin, allowed us to go out into the parks during the summer. And the residents looking at us thought, I'm sure we were mad. But after a while, they kind of saw our faces becoming more and more serene because of what we were doing in unison. And Tai Chi is lovely to do with the group. It just got us through a horrible time. I think in the early days, it was kind of like, I don't know how to do, I've never done Zoom. What are we going to do? Oh my God, I'm going to have to clean the house. I'm sorry, it was just all so positive.
Well, that's okay.
Except for the decoration in the house. You know. There wasn't an obstacle. Nothing was a problem. And that's what I mean. It was the way it was handled. Every time we did Tai Chi, we did it for you.
Thanks very much.
And thank you.
Mary rang and said, we're going to do training. And I said, well, I don't want to do training because I wasn't very capable, because I had left school at 14. But anyway, we come up and Mary gave us all the encouragement to help do your modules and with your training and with your homework. I got a lot of confidence in it. You know, like at the time when I done my first ones, I was working with the older kids, and they gave you the confidence because you knew from your training what to look for and how to help the kids and how to deal with the parents. And yeah, so I got a lot out of it. And I went on to do level 6 down there, and I find it great walking down there because I'd be the type to say, I'm not doing it, Margaret, I can't do it. But she gave you the encouragement and the person I am today without Casper training. So I think it helped me to encourage them to go on and get a good bit of education. Or any of the other tutors that I had. Wouldn't have been a tutor that said, oh, look down on you, said, because I could never spell, or they'd never say to you, oh, you left school at 14. They always gave you the encouragement and the belief that you could do it. And then the challenges was, when you had homework, you would have still had 3 kids. So you were trying to cook dinner, clean up, get them to bed, and then I'd say, Mary Walsh's class tomorrow, I'd have to get that homework done. Do you know what I mean? So it was a challenge, but I think it was worth it in the end. One of the highlights for me was we had a day out and we all went over to the Mansion House, and the Lord Mayor presented us with a certificate, and it was a great day. And actually walking up onto the stage presented to know all your hard work had been appreciated. From a child, like, he's always been involved in competitions and whenever, and he was being spoken to one day, why are we here and what are you involved in? He said, oh, I love singing and I love dancing. And, oh, where are you from? Mary's Mansion, Shamrock Street. Oh God, you don't speak or give the appearance of someone being from St Mary's Mansions. And my child said, what way am I supposed to speak? Do you know what I mean? So I think the training that we get here gives us the confidence to go out and say, yeah, well, okay, I'm from the inner city, but I'm just as good as you. So that's the confidence we're getting when we do our training in Casper.
I started study English class here since last year in September 2020. When I arrived here in Ireland last year, my English is 0. The people is friendly and is conversation about daily routine, about daily life, and the various topics. I think the teacher is very good here. I need to speak English in school to my children, and when I go in supermarket buy food to my family, and I need to speak English to make a friend here, and all my life is here. So I need to learn English to find a new job here. When I arrived here in Ireland, the country is closed because pandemic. The English class is online. For me, there isn't more opportunity and speak with other people.
We've been in training for over a year, because there's a lot of people that's on the group wouldn't have any experience in community work, because people are fed up with the conditions they're living in Alabama. There's a lot of problems in there: damp, mold, windows, plumbing, rats, bins out in the open. In order to understand the ins and outs of the council or any government body, whatever you're accessing, you have to know how their mind thinks. And if you haven't been in a position to work with people like that over the years, you're going blind. So at least training gives them something to build on, and you have a better understanding then of what they're dealing with. They use humongous words to describe something that's very simple. So that kind of training gives people, a lot of people are frightened by that. A lot of people didn't realise that they could contact the ombudsman for children, but because children's rights are being denied over there, the conditions they're living in. Other training that was given with Peter was all around how a community organisation runs, who has responsibilities for what. I think it's giving them the confidence now to be able to say what they want to say. It's letting people know what their rights are and giving them the tools to say, well, look, I want to do this. I think in their family, they're more confident in dealing with problems within their family homes now, and their mental health. You can step aside now and look at things differently. Where before they were caught in a rush and you're only seeing black and white, but now they're seeing the whole colour rainbow. That's what I think.
I make this to my heart for
And the belief that you could do it.
Something to build on.
Got us through a horrible time for everybody on different levels.
They always helped you, they were always there for you.
here. I can improve my English.
Because it's giving, as I said, it's giving them the tools now to do what they want to do.